Cute, the truck, it's so pretty. On my way to the beach this morning to go fly kites. Now, when you think of kites, this is not your normal kite. No, no. That would be very unbecoming of me to do something along with the traditional lines. So, this kite I got is called an HQ Pro Rush 300. Actually, I think it's HQ Rush Pro 300. I've been flying a little stunt sport kite for the last couple weeks, and I felt like it was time to go ahead and bump up to the big boy. This is a sport kite. So my goal with this is to have the freedom of mobility that I lack due to this broken physical body I was born into. I would love to be able to jump and not be scared of the landing. So with the kite, well, with this kite, I can jump and it will kind of be like a parachute when I land from a jump. Much more soft, or much softer, excuse me. I have seen people do this thing called kiteboarding, which is something that I immediately became obsessed with via YouTube. And anybody who knows me, though, knows that I'm not a huge fan of the water situation. And if you look up kiteboarding on Google or YouTube or anything, a lot of them are on boogie boards or surfboards, or they actually have a foil kite board that's got a big, I don't even know what the hell to call that thing. Anyways, it's not quite my style, and I knew it wasn't going to be when I first saw it, but I couldn't help myself. It's so fantastically awesome. So then I ran across something called kite land boarding, which immediately I was like, yes, yes, and yes. I can do this. It's on land. Super rad. The boards are, you know, I've seen quite a few different kinds, but basically a skateboard or a longboard with big, huge, all-terrain tires that you can deflate and inflate. At least you want to be able to change the tire pressure, basically, is what I'm getting at, depending on the terrain. So if you've got a soft terrain like a beach with lots of soft sand, you would want to deflate the tires. And the harder the terrain gets, the more air you're going to want to put in the tires, so on and so forth. Now, I realized that yesterday after I bought the kite, I hadn't bought the board yet, that I've never been good on boards either okay, so I was born with my umbilical cord wrapped around my right foot, and my right foot wrapped around my right calf, some semblance thereof. So I've had multiple surgeries throughout my life. I was a Shriner's kid. I've been told more times than I can count that I would never walk, let alone run, or do any of the crap that I've done in my life. So I like to push the envelope, obviously, of what I've been told I can and can't do. But the older I get, the more I need to keep that within reason. And I've never been good on a snowboard or any kind of board because my foot doesn't have any, or has very little, up and down motion. But I have more mobility in the side-to-side motion of my feet. So I've stuck to skis. So I ski in the snow and whatnot. Instead of going to the board, when I did rollerblades versus skateboard, not because one's cooler than the other, just simply because that's the extent of my mobility in my foot. So when I started thinking about kiteboarding, some anxiety arose in me about that situation. So then I started thinking, well, what about water skis? And so now my mind is going along the lines of buying some cheap water skis and seeing if I can get those to work on the sand on the beach with the kite. I have no idea what this would look like, or if it's even something that can be pulled off. But I'm willing to try. However, until that moment comes, I have got to master this darn kite. So, we're on our way to the beach right now for day 2 of flying the HQ Brush Pro 300. Yesterday we didn't have very good wind, but that was perfect for the first time. Just getting it out there, getting the kite, unraveled or out of the bag, and just getting a good feel for it. So I think that was perfect, even though we didn't get any jumps in or any tricks or any fun stuff in. I did get to feel the kite out and kind of get some basics down. So I haven't checked the wind report yet today, because it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go out there whether there's good wind or not, because it's the beach. I mean, even on the days when we don't have great wind, there's at least some wind. So I also have another sport kite, one that's more like a triangle, where this one's, the rush is more like an arch. So if the wind's not cooperating at all, I can always get the sport kite out and have a bit of fun doing tricks with that. So either way, it should be well worth the trip. It's always well worth the trip. It's only 15 minutes from my front door to the beach. And as you can see, the drive is speechless, really. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. We are on the Oregon coast right now. We just left Cloverdale, Oregon, and we're about to enter Pacific City, Oregon. Never in my wildest imagination did I think a place like this existed. It is just so beautiful, and the people are just so beautiful, and the cost of living is, well, I was in Colorado just a couple years ago, so compared to that, very affordable. Hard to find housing in Pacific City right on the coast. That's not very affordable, but you get 5 minutes outside of that anywhere, and it's a pretty rural area and very, very, very neat people. Didn't take me very long to get accustomed to all the water all over everywhere. And honestly, it kind of reminds me a little bit of England in the summertime, or at least in the spring. So that's not terrible. So this is going to be Pacific City that we're entering into right now. These little houses so neat. They build them up like that, obviously, for flood and stuff. I'm sure of that. There was a big tsunami scare a while back. I won't go into all that, but they haven't actually had one. But they do look awfully prepared for one, if it ever comes. So it's kind of cool that they're very proactive types of folks rather than reactive. Kind of like that. The Nestucca School District schools are really good, but you get outside of that into the valley and you get, normal public school type setting. Over in Nestucca Valley, though, it's still really, really, really small classrooms. The kids are really nice. There's going to be bullying and BS anywhere you go, but of all the places we've been, this seems to be the most laid back, warm and welcoming group of people, not only in town but also at the schools and the kids and stuff. The kids are very helpful, very responsible. Of course, you're going to have, ones that aren't. So there's always a bad apple, but it's been pretty cool so far. So this is Pacific City proper. On the left here, the one gas station. I love this little town. It's just this one little, maybe 2 roads. So we're going to come up, and there's the beach right in front of us. I'm not going to go to that entrance because it's got a lot of people there usually. And then I don't know what's going on here. You go, no 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 you go. So cute. See, perfect example. Seems like people have big smiles just plastered on their faces pretty much all the time. It's incredible. So on the left is the beach. We're going to go down a little farther, try to get away from some of the crowd. So once you pass here, it gets pretty touristy. Right about, yeah, right here. This is very, you know, gated communities and tourist rentals, timeshares. And then as we make this turn, we're going to see Pacific City's Grand Tourist Magnet. And it's pretty neat. The folks have done a decent job of getting this thing together. One couple owns all of this coming up here and built it up, and I think it's pretty neat of them to do that. There's trails everywhere, everywhere. So this is right here. This is all owned by the same people. Cuter than pie. On the right over here is the RV that we were staying at, RV park that we were staying at before when we first got here. We stayed there for about 2 weeks, and then this is what we had to look at every morning. Alright, I'm going to engage my 4-wheel drive, make sure it works.